And technically we're live, but this, like I put in the comment, is not a normal live stream. Okay, Mr. DB boy, go ahead and come on down, son. We're gonna be on here just long enough for me to talk what I need to talk and hit the little red button that I'm gonna press right here, and then yeah, and then that's gonna be it. How's everybody doing now? Oh, shout out to Miss Bambi Palermo. Was over at her live earlier. I think I'm not actually for certain if she's still technically going right now or not. Hold on. No, she ended it. Okay. Shout out to Supernatural Sunday. She started 4 hours ago. Go check out some of that. Some of that stuff's interesting. Just when it comes to supernatural and ghost type of stuff like that, it's not like it's not interesting to me, but it's one of those things where like I know I don't know nothing I'm talking about. The whole time I'll having to be like I'll have the urge to want to get on Google, ask people what's the best place for stuff about ghosts or video. You know, if I can't even, and I don't know, like I don't even see myself good enough to be able to learn that stuff on my own. So I'm not gonna talk about something like that. See, when it comes to something like firearms or something, I'm more passionate about, or other issues, specific groups, different things like, you know, I could tell you about that stuff, but you probably wouldn't care. And this means stop. I tell you what, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, Quentin Tarantino is one of these directors and guys that you hear a bunch of stuff, you know, but if you judge and just go by just off of his work alone and what people say about him professionally, what they say about his movies, the actors in them, the people that watch him, and all that, Quentin Tarantino is can't be replicated. I think he's one of. I think history will look upon back and will write that, especially around this time, the time I was alive, at least you could say around near the tail end from the 90s, and we'll just go all the way about COVID, about around now. From then to now, he's been active, and the only thing that wasn't done was his 10th. He was going to make 10 movies, right? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's his ninth film, the ninth in the. You know, he had a plan that he was going to do 10 movies. You know, all the way back when he first started on Reservoir Dogs, that came out in '97. Now the 10th film had a title, premise, and you know was like in that direction to be going. And for some reason or another, I'm sure one day he will open up about it, but not now because he's still trying to figure out. Like that's canceled. That film, the title, the premise, everything that he was heading in the direction for this 10th final film has been scrapped. So currently, we all got our thumbs twiddling. You know, Tarantino will either announce that, I mean, from what I've gathered, he still intends to make a 10th film, but it's not going to be what he initially had announced and talked about and all that. Not going to be the same name. Probably not even in the same ballpark. Why is that? The details surrounding all that, I don't know. But I imagine it probably at one part, like it dawned on him. He's like, "Whoa!" He's like, "I need to go about this project different than all my other ones because this is gonna be my final one. Once I'm done working on it and I release it, I can't go back and you know." That's the thing about being a movie maker, like doing directing or writing or anything. You do a project like this, like you better do it the best way that you can and do it so that when you ultimately see the finished product and watch it on screen yourself, that you actually like it. I mean, you might not be able to get it. That's the thing. A lot of people that, are on behind the cameras and stuff and know they're there and see all the set and all that. Those folks I've heard generally among them that it can be a little weird getting in the movies at first. Like it's a little, eh, but I mean, even if, the fact that they help make movies affects their vision, they're still able to tell, like, well, that scene was fucking executed great, and here's why, because what you don't know, right there where Leonardo's bleeding, he actually broke the glass on the table from hitting it. And the reason why you see the face, your expression on the other guy, as well as the freaking sweetheart that was playing Django or Broomhilda, she she didn't know what was going on. Like, and she's looking at him, and he noticed his hands bleeding, and he just decides to just improv through it, and he wipes that blood just right on her face, like, and Tarantino was like, yeah, I'm glad you did that. I mean, eh, I love Tarantino fucking films. I really do. Love fucking Reservoir Dogs. I love, love, love it. Now, there's one film of his though that I have not got in. This might surprise some of y'all actually. And if anyone, don't get mad at me or whatever, but here it is basically. If y'all can guess, what movie of Tarantino's do you think I haven't seen? Don't say and the Dawn of the Dead or whatever, the one where he's with a brother and starring in the film, and they go to the bar and it's vampires that run the bar and shit. Don't say that movie because I've seen it. Dusk Till Dawn, that's the name of it. Yeah, so I know that one. Like some people try to catch me off guard and test whether or not if I remember or know that fact about that, and yes, I do. Kill Bill, all right. I'll go ahead and save the suspense, get it over with, because ain't nobody gonna guess right. It's Kill Bill. I've never watched not volume 1 or 2 of Kill Bill, but since he is a director filmmaker, according to him and Tarantino fans, that Kill Bill is one movie. All right, so it doesn't matter that there's 2 parts, what have you. It's supposed to be enjoyed literally as one film. So you'd watch part 1, and as soon as part 1 ended, you'd put in part 2 right after. They asked him that, and he said if I had a way, he's like, that would be the Tarantino recommended official way for to tell all the fans to how to watch it. He's like, don't watch 2 first and then 1. He's like, don't watch 1 and then wait 2 weeks and then watch 2. He's like, just watch 1 and watch 2. You know. All right, it's time we're gonna get to some karma, you guys. See, today is April the 27th, 2025, year of our Lord. This YouTube journey and social media landscape and paradigm, so many words, where all the little labels you got for it. It is certainly something else. I could have never told you or predicted or seen it coming from a warning sign or prevention standpoint that one day I would be on the internet, especially if I think back to like taking the computer class I did in high school. We used to come in there to a computer lab. We'd all be checking our Facebooks. Oh, these 3 chicks that were in the grade above me, they were seniors. I was juniors. I would look on at their monitor every now and then, and just as I had the program up and was doing my work, I also, if you looked close enough and caught me, you could catch me that I also had a tab always open for Facebook. I mean, like I thought I was educated as far as knowing how to be careful on the internet. I knew that I didn't fucking, took any spam or bullshit messages trying to scam you in some way, telling you that you owe money or you've been fined or all the crap that they have trying to do that email phishing scams and shit. I had heard about, like, when it comes to intimate photos of yourself and shit and things, like, once it's out there, it's out there, and I never had that. There's a couple of people in our school that, because of their situations and it getting such a big deal and in the forefront of everybody, like, that is exactly why Miss What's Her Name had that little impromptu little speech where she said, "You guys don't understand." She said, "Facebook, as stable as it is for all of us that we use it every day, and you think everything you got on there is good, and it might be, especially if you're using its privacy settings good, but they said there's nothing keeping from it going down tomorrow, but yet everything that was on it could be somewhere just else, saved, backed up." I remember her telling us that, like, their sites, there was a specific site we would go to use as a tool to do some of the work she gave us, because you would need to acquire info and stuff posted on the internet at a time and on a specific platform or way that technically didn't exist anymore. But there was this one website that it's like a catalog. It's like a catalog. It catalogs stuff that happened on the internet or specific things on stuff that doesn't exist anymore, and you can go on there and you can, like, see a live view of what the fucking shit looked like when it launched or whatever. Okay, so I I really don't know how to go about do this, man. Like, I didn't have to do this live. I could have just done. I could have just made a post, but I felt it was good to talk about this head on, like really hit it head on, because we need to get some things clear that have always been bouncing around, but I've never spoke on or cleared up, vice versa. Some people have assumptions. A lot of folks like to say that sometimes they think that they call out and be like, "Oh, he's dancing. He's fully engaged. He's engaged." Motherfucker, yes, I am aware and engaged with all the aspects of my life and reality. You damn right I am. I'm not fucking staring into space. And what I'm about to post, from a psychological, factual, certain technical aspect, I'm engaging with a larger situation that has been pretty much going on, and at any time it could actually just stop, which it should, for all parties considered well-being and best interest, but you can't make people do that. And this is the part where someone says, "Well, why don't you do that? Lead by example." Fuck that. All right. I'm not gonna come out. I'm not even sitting here pretending, trying to be like, "Oh, I'm the bigger person," or all this or that. Like, no. I made it quite clear that, I'm not keen for the type of folks that are so quick and easy to see people and things inferior, superior. I mean, like, just for shits and giggles, seriously. I mean, humans are smart. I'm smart. Y'all are probably smart, I would say, right? I guarantee stuff that you could do, for instance, animals and stuff couldn't do, right? So, I mean, you see yourself superior than animals? And if that's the case, why not just fucking obliterate them? stop fucking harvesting their meat and trying to protect their wildlife and sanctuaries and environments and treat them when they're wounded and hurt. No, I mean, we're not. No one's gonna do that. But that's my point, though. Like, I don't get you people that go around here thinking that like you just know right off rip from some magical source that nobody else has who's superior, who's inferior, and who's in between, and where everything else lies. Because that's just bullshit, dude. You know, it don't matter if the lie is a black lie or a white lie. It's both lies. It's still all lies. I mean, that comes straight from a freaking mentor, business partner, friend of my high school friend's father. He's like, I can understand the difference. He said, although the difference really, he said, I mean, it's a technical difference. I can understand that the black people's lie was to make us feel superior, and the white people's lies are to make us feel inferior. He said, but they're both lies still at the end of the day. And that's all she wrote, man. So, Squirrel, now, I, it looks like, I tell you what, Squirrel, it looks like that you've got a, a yeah, you're saying, these are some classic tracks, but I just got to tell you from my perspective, sitting here looking at this guy in a family portrait, smiling, and I'm trying to think like, did he, and I mean like, I'm sitting here looking at him and I'm just like, what the fuck am I looking at? I'm just like, and I see so many things. I see coward. I see a bully. I see a fucking felon. I see a fucking biased person. I see somebody that thinks they're better than other, like a superiorist. I was just talking about. I see somebody that's threatening people. I see someone that doxes people. I see a hypocrite. I see someone that lies readily and quickly and comes online mostly for the sole purpose of to sit back, partake in, help push, and promote chaos in any way, shape, or form, and then also be able to sit around, laugh, observe, and watch it all unfold. To you, Mr. Kyle R. Bick, I say to you, sir, that I do not support you. I have never supported you. I do not care for you. I think you are dangerous. You straight up threatened toward me while somebody was actively trying to ask me a dumb rhetorical type question on whether did I know how to hang myself. I mean, that was their word. Like, did I know how to use a belt with a closet door or whatever? And then you said, and I quote, well, listen, I would beat your goddamn brakes out and I'd live stream it and fuck you in front of everybody, you fucking pussy. And then I said, end quote, and I said, quote, wow, you're fucking sick, end quote. And then the clip cut off right there, right? And that's just one instance. I mean, hell, you was sending stuff the other day talking about tomorrow or today, even saying some shit's gonna happen tomorrow, whatever. You've threatened Coy. I mean, you've been threatening. People have been talking about like, which will happen first, whatever. Hey, whatever. I'll tell you something. You look like you got a good family though, and I guarantee they have not a fucking single clue idea of just how depth the depth of despair you sink inward and what is truly in your consciousness and what you're about. Because if they had any idea, like, there's no way that they know anything about this YouTube stuff or what you do on YouTube. Not a fucking way. I'm sure that they remember the times old Kyle had to have us drive down to the county and had to go get the grandchildren and had to do things and that he should have been able to, but he couldn't because he had a fucking protective order out on him, so he couldn't be within so many feet or talk. Like, you know, you want to fuck with me, dude? Like, that's what's crazy. I got somebody like fucking you of all people with all this shit on their rap, and I got fucking you trying to sit here and have the nerve say like shit like, oh, protect women and children from Square. He's armed and dangerous. I'm not armed and fucking dangerous. Like I'm just in the act of fucking shooting. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And shit don't bother me either. Like, yes, I see what you say in chats. Do I care? Do I screenshot it anymore? No, not unless it's a straight up like, illegal or threatening thing to document. I'm not gonna take pictures of your stupid hee bullshit when you're laughing amongst yourself. All right, let's post it. So this first one's gonna be 19 seconds. Fuck it. I've been holding off on doing this because we are going to be crossing a fucking threshold here, and the threshold is simply we've gotten to this point in the story where you've heard what has gone on. This individual was watching me from other individuals that wanted to try to pick and poke and bully, mess with, troll me, and he has inserted himself by that way ever since. He has taken it offline. He has continued to run his cock holster about me, regarding me, or threatening me, and anything of the above or below, even during the times and periods where I was not saying nothing or reporting anything and not active. So, as a result of those facts, the post I am making today is not done with malice. It is not done as tit for tat or because he's done the same thing just recently or whatever. No, none of that. The post I'm making today and why I'm addressing this is for everybody who hadn't seen it and needs to see it to caught up and to declare and want to make you sure you're all aware, all you guys, it's for educational, informational purposes, specifically only. I could say entertainment too, but I mean, there's really no entertainment about this. If there's something that we can laugh about during this crap, you let me know, or I'll let you guys know when I come across it, or if I laugh, and we'll point it out and say, hey, there was one thing, but I mean, it's just the facts. There's not a whole bunch of shit I'm gonna be able to laugh at about this, and he shouldn't have done this shit, man. But I think we need to, obviously he has not gotten, he isn't, obviously nothing I've ever said or talked or any of the question reflection back I've put on him and, rhetorical, asking him questions straight up, like trying, even to the point when I was going to them like, I'm trying to have peace, like going to them and addressing all of them as a fucking group and shit way back in 2022. And crap, the two damn times I tried to go after peace, and both of it was fucking buddy trolls from Fusion. You know, I, you're not listening or watching something from the person that's on the side of this that's never stopped. Because I've stopped. I've tried to get the others. I've tried to get them to see if they would stop with me. And we just, you know, don't even got to acknowledge one another. But some people just don't want to do that. You know, I mean, there's probably something that could pop up tomorrow, or a new person could come online tomorrow or next week. And from them themselves, I guarantee you, if they stuck on them and put the time and effort, they can end up making some community or bullshit around that person too. And guess what? By the time they got that going, probably another and another and another one that's come up. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dime a dozen. And and trolls and the people that y'all that like are biased and you support these trolls, filthy and them, be fair and balanced in your own mind with the fact that uh it, you know, I really gotta say this, like, y'all support them or rah rah rah, but then you don't embody, like, and you act like you're with him and that, you know, you co-sign that stuff and thumbs up and all that 100, but then y'all don't fucking heed, and when he says something, you don't take it as gospel like you fucking should be. Like, for instance, Mustard Squirrel, prime good example here. When Filthy fucking made it pretty damn clear about who that Deadly was and what he was all about. Uh, I think it was pretty damn clear from what he said that, hey, even if you had a 59.9% certainty that you was gonna be able to get through the square and pull off something, you know, unique over there, you still don't go over there and fraternize with locals and diddlers and stuff, because Deadly is a diddler. They've got it confirmed. He threatened Muggsy's niece. He's threatened my niece. He's threatened other people's children, maybe even yours or your nieces. Kim, Women, Penelope, Brittany, me. Fuck, good God Almighty. Uh, yeah. What are we gonna title this? Victory, 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 dog. Shout out to anybody in chat. Sorry, I'm not messing with chat. Victory, victory, happy victory. Doc, what's up, Doc? What else do we have? Frick. Let's see. What would you label that? Oh, I got it. I'm kind of overthinking this a little bit. But nothing wrong with wanting to get something just exactly the way you want it before you finish up the final little signature of your canvas and sign your name. And away it goes. Got something also to go along with this. I'm going to do this after each time I do this. Whatever you've got to say in response to what I just done, oh, DB boy, I give you about as much consideration and care about it as much as this does. And the only thing you're going to be able to do with this is maybe look at it, appreciate it, talk to it, sit on it, maybe do a little sit and spin. Maybe you can, go round and round on it or something. I don't know, but you know, just know that's all you get. Fuck you, dude. Y'all are jokes. And another thing, I tell you why y'all don't deserve and uh, aren't about what Filthy says, and that's why he acts the way he does, and only comes around now. He does, like y'all disappoint him. Seriously, and I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not and holding him up on some pedestal or something. I'm just saying y'all can't even fucking get basic things right. I mean, if Filthy was a Marine man, if the Marines was his thing, and he regarded and followed stuff that had to do with the Marines, and he was pretty damn clear that he wanted to see that always be done that way, anywhere he was going to be at least. And then these same motherfuckers that always talking about him and stuff, but guess what? They don't ever do it. And then they wonder about, like, why ain't he over to my channel? Motherfucker, you ain't liked by him, but you simping for him. Fucking Charlie D. I seen Filthy himself talk about it. He's like, now we got another one of them motherfuckers, Charlie D. That motherfucker's in this chat right now. I said, oh shit. I was like, he ain't lying though. I was like, you know what, Phil, that was actually the fucking truth. I said, that was a rare moment right there. Everything that came out of Filthy's fucking mouth actually for a change was actually factually fucking true. That don't happen too often. I had to jot that one down. No. Hold on. She didn't give me anything. What are you talking about, first of all? Second of all, uh, I don't know who you are, CharmM, but this has got nothing to do with Miss Bambi. But rest assured, though, this same piece of shit has went after Bambi and the bunch too, my peeps. So they've got something to say about it. They just ain't got nothing to say about this specifically. And let me tell you another thing. I had all of Squirrel's pertinent P's and Q's and shit way before, to be honest, I even knew Bambi existed or about her, knew about her. So, I mean, absolve her? She's got nothing to be absolved of. This is a live stream and she's came in here under her account that she's a moderator of. She is a friend of this channel and she has more than enough right to be here and can come up if she wants to or not come up and support it, shout it out, argue, give suggestions, whatever. But what she ain't got to do is fucking listen to your bullshit. So, bye bye. Adios. She knows that too. And Kaden on his way. Yeah, You need to have a little bit more that you're not going to be in here because that's somebody that just came home and is catching up with their family and their loved ones. Uh, they do this thing called serve. Their occupation, the way they bring money and provide for their family and themselves is through one of an act of service while they get paid and have benefits and stuff and are part of one of the largest freaking regardless, it don't change the fact that they serve. You know, they don't get to have a whole lot of say so and make changes and get accommodations and stuff to that either. They get told that they're needed to do this, that, and guess what? They go and they do it. So I want to give a shout out to Mr. Kaden and welcome him back and let him know that we wish everybody from around the Gilded Syndicate over here at Daily Canine News, and I know over at the Pizzaverse, definitely supports him, wishes him well, and has him in our thoughts and prayers. And yeah, so I don't even know why y'all even come here and say shit like that. Like, what's that? Just to get me to do this little spiel? Like, it's stupid. It's worthless. Okay, you're not worried about him. All right, cool. Next, and then, and then, there's the link. Unblock GAN Team. What the fuck? Oh my god. Now, why in the fucking world would I unblock ever the fuck GAN Team or any of them? Seriously. Like, you know that wouldn't happen unless every single one of the instances where they've degraded my character and stuff and go around strategically calling me a pedo and stuff and trying to have a history built up in certain channels of that being the norm so that people emulate it as if it is the norm. Like, dude, everybody sees your shit. Even I do. Like, not as irritated by it, but I'm just pointing it out that, like, I mean, because you guys almost, you do a damn good job because you almost act as if you don't even know anything about all that, but you do it. This is the one fucking associate of yours, the one person that is a GAN Team. If they're, I'm not speaking for them, but what they were a GAN Team. I knew them to be GAN Team one time. Whether they are, were, still are, etc., I don't care. They're the only one that I allow over here. You know why? Because they don't go along with fuckery. They don't go around defaming me. They don't go around attacking me for no reason or because it's trendy and it might get them some views or some pat on the back or the right salute from an important person. You know, fuck that. They don't do shit like that. Appreciate it, Mocon. Thanks for coming by. Here's Juvenile dissing all the workers. I need to see that. They ain't doing shit in my world. Let me check up on y'all's comments. Sorry. I don't know what y'all are talking about pertaining to AI having emotions, but that link I share above is an Eminem remix I made earlier. Eminem is dissing Mr. Fusion TV, Filthy, The Frog, JM, Mustard Squirrel, many others. And he can actually chat like a normal person, he won't get timed out. You're not blocked, spokesman. Someone else just timed you out. But I don't use my rinse like that in other people's chats. Unblock GAN Team, June 29, 25. Have health insurance ready, boy. You know, that right there is a very easily identified and clearly implied threat of harm or violence. Yeah. That ain't shit to Hillbilly saying, I'm trying to get you to kill this motherfucker, though, on video with his shirt off. But, you know, that happened too. We ain't forgot. We got it all. Oh, come in here and say unblocked, demand to be unblocked. And if you don't, or even if you do get unblocked, you've got the June 29th after, almost as if to falsely get me to buy into the idea. Well, maybe if I unblock them, they'll back off. Like, I'm not worried about your shit or you backing off. Like, I've told you to back off. I told you to leave me alone. You won't do it. You know, you don't understand or respect the concept of consent that much, I guess it would appear. So I've got no interest in trying to do that anymore. It'd be like beating a dead horse. Instead, I'm just going to do my thing, and if I see something or observe something or someone else does or what have you, someone else don't say something about it, I might touch on it, I might not. Shout out to Miss Harlow though. I tell you what, Miss Harlow is on it when she comes to making, like, she's regular with how she's keeps making her short content. The style, the type, the variety, the premise of how it works and the setup. Like, I almost wish I didn't do live streams as my main source of content, because I suck when it comes to uploading and scheduling and doing videos.
Just so everybody knows, I'm a nice person for the most part, and I do not do internet bullying. But if you got cotton coochie,
No
and you
cotton
come on my
coochie.
fucking profile to start your shit, I will fucking drag you, and I will fucking hurt your feelings. Just so everybody knows, I'm a nice person for the most part.
And she is. She's not done anything. I'm watching my.
How did she get away?
Hold on. Apologies about that. Had to switch hardware and switch gears essentially. Now let's see. I would imagine. Yeah, it got uploaded. There we go. Hickory dickory dickory dock. Where will the hand on the clock strike? Stop. Fucking fucked up. Fucked it up. Hickory dickory dickory dock. Oh, where will the hand on the clock strike? Stop. Ugh. Get tongue tied trying to say that shit. Bambi keep giving me that sweet reaction. Bro, like, what reaction she done gave though? Like, I mean, do you call her going live normally, like how she does, and talking about ghosts or some shit, like a reaction? Because she might just see a dumb comment and make sure to, correct it here or there. But other than that, like, Bambi don't freaking go on the live and just be like, I'm sorry, guys. I ain't got a title or nothing to get right into content wise today. I'm not doing good. We got to talk about all this fucked up bullshit they got going around. Like, I mean, that's some of the type of streams I used to have start off with words and phrases talking. That was me at one time. All right. I don't see, man. I don't. So I don't know, like, what reaction she's giving y'all. See, I'm attacking you right at your foundational point, because if it can be demonstrated through rational, logical means of reflecting actions back that people do, reflecting things and exposing them on here, putting your own words and actions back right in front of you and for the rest to see, and pointing out how it's not kosher, like, just fingers crossed, prayers that, you know, your brain, your heart, and electricity in your body will all work together and magically line up to where you go, Eureka! And you see it, you know, and other people see it. And, you know, let other people know, acknowledge it. I mean, if that could happen, that'd be cool, you know, but you don't have to do it. You know, fucking, this thing, that, like, oh my god. He wants me to be evil about it, like, you know, and that's why I made sure that's short right there. That's nothing but a family photo. It has singing in it and stuff. It's public. And guess what? There's nothing done to make any of them, like, I didn't put a joint or fucking a beer on them or nothing. I didn't change the clothing or try to AI any weird crap or not. I didn't do nothing like that. The only thing I had to do was a little thing that actually I really didn't do that program, but you know, whatever. So like they move and they seem like they're singing along to it. That's all it is. Yeah, that's literally like all it freaking is. But I wonder, like, you know, are you gonna give me a sweet, sweet reaction there, old DV boy?
Oh, mustard, 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 mustard. You need to get on his ground. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm here, and I ran into him the other day, and boy, he really used his speech and his logical and rational parts of himself to say something that was actually kind of witty. He didn't just call me a cunt or threaten me or anything. He didn't do anything that I could use against him or show that he's a lowlife. You know, he just was really annoying and smart ass, and you know, I just really didn't like how he acted. He's too comfortable, Mustard. You need to take him down a peg or two. He's begging for attention. He's begging for it. That's literally what along the lines of what fucking K I'm here said. First of all, Miss K, do you have any comments, or would you like to explain and answer a question that the community would like to know, even as random as it may seem? They want to know what is the psychological impact and the experience for someone like you to be a part of the group and situation on here that you are, that hates and is obsessed with me, somebody whose name is Ian, while simultaneously you live and are dating with, and I believe you have children with a man whose name is Ian. And, you know, dare I say, basically, like, I mean, you're screaming my name every other night if he's doing something right, you know? So, how do you reconcile that, but then still come on YouTube and, you know, see this Ian is a fucking, oh, just a goddamn this monster fucking incarnated along with fucking Darth Vader and mixing Doctor Evil and fucking calling it Predator and all that other crap too. I mean, oh, and the murderer and one that got away with it, you know. Like, I mean, both frustrated. Huh? Big Bad Bambi, the girl version of Big Bad Mary. Oh, fuck off. Square's best group. No, here, I'll play the thing on my dad. I'll play it. I'll let you, if you wouldn't mind not listening to it, Bambi. It's something, it's a recording call that, they have with my dad, and I'll give context on it, and I'll make sure. And if you listen to me, and we go through this, and if you take what I'm telling you, and I got no reason to lie about it,
So I'm going to make this very, very in a nutshell, easy to digest and understand completely. I mean, I'll have the whole damn thing covered. Anything said, any nuance or side topic thing, I'll talk about it too if I can. And by the end of it, by the end of this 11-minute video, you will understand exactly what this is all about. Largely, it's a creepo with a patience and the recording equipment. Actually, I think he was right up on the panel live. Yeah, he wasn't recording it. He was letting StreamYard record it, and he was up there with MC, Fusion, all the rest. And I wasn't aware that was live. I didn't know what was going on until I knew, that particular situation there. He was already up and live and going on about it, talking to my dad. And my dad didn't know any fucking better. He thought he was talking to John Roberts of Peeville, Missouri. He messed up though at first. He said, I called you back because I wonder how did you get my wife's number? Well, y'all not be worried about so much your wife. I really would like to talk to you, and you need to be worried about your father. That's what he says. And he said, I got it from a friend of a friend, but like my dad didn't let go of that, but he wanted to answer. He gave him that answer, and my dad's like, all right. And right there, I paused it, and I said, so I'm not going to pause it and go through this all again. I'm telling you now, but I said right then, come on, Dad. Like I said, really? He got it from a friend? Okay, well, who is this guy that's from Missouri where you don't even live anymore and haven't lived a long time? You only come back once in a while for fucking reunions or to come by for the holidays or some shit. So why would some random person in Peeville, Missouri have a number that they got from a friend of theirs, someone else around here, and that friend just so happened to know your wife? Like there's like even fucking his wife, like even she would have been able to smell that as all. Nobody in Missouri fucking, come on, man. That's just such bullshit right there. Yeah, some older guy in Portageville is gonna know about, literally from middle fucking Tennessee. I digress. We might not cover this whole thing because I might just get to the point where I just throw up my hands and like, y'all done, you're bored, you're satisfied because it's really dumb. Introducing Square's other dad, I'm my other dad, that's my dad. But if you listen to how he talks, you could just tell very obviously that my dad is one of those people that has certain specific, rigid ways of looking and observing on things and how he goes about handling them, especially when it comes to interpersonal relationships of the family, friends, relationships, etc. My dad's only been married twice and dated several people and been in relationship, but he knows more about me. I can really cover it up simply just by saying that it basically lies to Dad and says, yeah, this little shit, I'm local here, and I watched him be pretty crappy to your dad on one occasion, I'm claiming, and he's definitely on drugs, and I seem to know about what's been going on with him lately on YouTube and everything else. Even though I'm an old guy and I don't fuck with that stuff, and I'm from Missouri, and I'm only calling because I'm concerned about your father's safety, health, and are you fucking get real, dude? Hey, my dad did not give him any challenge at all. He didn't, be like, but I thought you said you didn't like really know a whole lot about him. Like, how do you know that? Like, he didn't ask you, who do you know, or oh, that person really like, and he didn't think about something about that person and then alter it and say it to see if He'd call it out, catch it, to verify that he's legit. Like, he didn't put him through any fucking rigorous test at all. I went back through my text messages and, oh yeah, I said plenty to him to where this should have been avoided. I don't know how, because there's messages I was reading today. I was like, oh, damn, he sent me money though. I was talking about YouTube back then. I was like, damn. I was looking at it earlier today and I said, shit. Oh, well. I'll let y'all get into it. So essentially, you're going to hear the fat frog fuck impersonate a citizen from Missouri and fill my dad with a line of bullshit and give him a false scenario that currently I'm over here abusing his dad and back in active addiction. So anything my dad says that he's talking about, like me, and it seems like he's passionate about me and describing me, he's talking about me in the sense of under active addiction. That's why none of this crap, none of it at the end of the day, like it doesn't, like I don't feel, I should be grateful in a way because I got an insight and a glimpse and him going back over, redressing things and saying stuff that he viewed and witnessed and how I appeared and how I came off and how I acted. And I was fucked up and in my own world, you know, an active addiction, going through that crap that I did. So I don't blame him for that, you know. If he thinks that when I was like that, I came off cold or didn't give a crap about people, had no empathy, maybe I did. Maybe that was just a character trait of mine whenever I was fucked up. I don't know. You know, it's so much and everything pushed together, and you know, so much time has passed that I'm gonna strongly say no. Always, even when fucked up, I had, maybe I didn't have as much emotional responses in some situations and what have you, because I'm impaired, used to be. But I don't even think a doctor or a psychiatrist would say with a straight face that, you know, it's very easy for somebody to take one substance and they completely lose any sense whatsoever of any empathy or kindness. Like, get the fuck out of here. Hey, do y'all think that's, I mean, I'm not saying a person can't come off that way, that they can't have like that individual, you know, air to them, that they're not friendly, what have you. But, I mean, come on. Like, does that mean exactly that back when I was taking the medicine and stuff and was addicted and what have you, that like the prescription stuff and what have you? I mean, do you think, I mean, that made me very much only concerned about myself. I know that. But it literally, my main addiction had to do with sensation and feeling of a physical and mental mind. So it's psychological and, you know, physical, both. Sensation of pain. That's what my addiction revolved around, pain. Even the early ones with nicotine and marijuana that started first, those were things I sought out and started to use, both depressants, and I used them to both either calm down, control my nervousness, and use it to relax or unwind. That's it. I mean, and prescription drugs and big bad addictions didn't come till later on after a bunch of crap happened. If my dad's gonna say that first couple of years up until way to like wreck or whatever, he's gonna say I didn't have empathy or whatever then, and all this other crap were to supposedly apply. Like, I think I would argue with that, because there's no way that even when I was just smoking weed and still in high school and still under 18 and shit, there's no way nobody would ever describe me that way. If anything, they would describe, I'm too much emotion, too much energy, Too much, an overabundance of it. Oversupply, if anything, someone might have actually said, it might not hurt him to do with a little bit less emotion, kind of take a breath and look at things more before just jumping out and reacting to what you see face first and on first look, I mean, that's a valid point of criticism for someone like me.
Soft and kind when I was crying.
God dang it, we're not doing this shit. All right, let's get to the part.
Right. A fucking idiot would. Yeah, an idiot.
I mean, I don't know who it is. I just know that they're ugly. And they look like a chomo. So there's that.
That's weird.
This is John.
This is John. I see.
Yeah. Did your wife?
See, one person told the truth there, and one person lied. And that pretty much sets, and it doesn't mean that my dad didn't say things that were inaccurate, but you can go right off of that. That sets the tone for the whole conversation and the mood of it. We have somebody that is playing a part. They're nothing more than an actor and doing this for one or multiple hopeful outcomes. That's the whole purpose of doing it, and to get a reaction is the other reason. And then the other person is simply, which is my dad, they don't want to be bothered, but they will, address things, and he will get himself caught up in the loop of feeding this and answering things and falling for the deception and the other tactics and get wrapped up in it because that's just the way it went.
That's weird.
This is John.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Bambi. They're good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the back stuff. Buddy, hey, buddy.
On the issue?
Wait, what? Let me say it again.
Chomo.
Let me go back again.
So there's that.
That's weird.
This is John.
Okay. Well, this is Keith.
Yeah. Did your wife fill you in on the issue?
Hope of RH can straight up go F himself. I don't know what that means. Well, I could have. I told you straight up right then, and gave you a little nod and sliver of words that to not tolerate that, because I already knew it was going to come in some way or another. I didn't know if it was going to be aggressive or passive aggressive or just passive. They're trying to tell me what I can and can't do. I also never get upset with them when they're chatting with their pound up with people that actually harass and stalk me. Yeah, that's what's crazy right now, man. Is they're sitting over there and fucking like they was over there on the damn channel with fucking K, and like GAN Team and the workies are ingratiating themselves. When Gene is in there talking about what Frog would or wouldn't like, not gonna like that, and etc. Just silly, dumb shit that really means nothing. Guess what? People need to be aware and need to go, whoa, hold on a second. Because you have seen these two groups that have supposed to be on polar opposites this whole time. People that's supposed to be against one another. And on both sides doing things and all this. But suddenly, because now, there's other people up on the board and stuff, what have you seen happen? It seems like they decided somebody came up and got all of them to look forward and said pay attention, and then they grabbed GAN Team Workiverse pieces on the board and they moved them back away from the focused to-do list, and then they grabbed Square, Bandy, Harlem, put them up there, and then they grabbed the Workies and Gene one last time and drew them close so they're right one next to each other. They're not touching, they're not hugging, cuddle. They're not, official or anything, but they're standing one next to each other in solidarity, saying things to help push along their comments and narratives, respectively. I have observed that firsthand. Yeah. So I don't understand, it's so much hypocrisy. There's so much daggum, freaking dagburn hypocrisy. I can't see straight, y'all. I don't know which end is up, left, right, or down anymore. I don't know if MC is being to me or if he's fucking, pizza. Not pizza, freaking Tony. I don't know if he's, could be Tony Pizza, so much shit just changing at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how you got my wife's number.
Curious of how you got my wife's number. Yeah, you should have been, Dad. There's no way this son of a bitch could have got her number from anybody. And here's the other thing. Why didn't he fucking ask, well, who's your friend? Maybe you're a friend of my wife's and we can all laugh about this and have dinner sometime. No. And the fact that he didn't ever volunteer, say, or mention the so-called friend, the person he got, or make something up and lie to my dad. My dad, you'll hear and catch up things in this call that would probably get your attention and have you do a double take, but just everything seems to be going flying straight over my fucking dad's head.
I got it from a friend of a friend.
See, that right there, come on.
But why are you trying to get my wife's number?
I think you should
He's
be
not
more concerned with
trying
your
to get
father
it.
than-
He's gotten it already and called it, and now you are calling him back, and now he's redirecting you and almost commanding you in a way, basically kind of telling you, shut the fuck up, and you need to be worried about your father and what I'm about to tell you about. But my dad don't pick up on that. He don't pick up on that disrespect, that blatant bullshit right there. He don't pick it up.
I have been concerned with my father. I've been concerned for my father a long time.
About what, though? What would he be concerned about his father about? Because, you don't know our life and everything like you try to act like you do. So what would he should be concerned about? Is there a shipment specifically, or is there a health issue regular we deal with? Is there an active challenge we've faced with some weirdo fucking stalkers that have claimed that they're going to come around here and do shit to fuck me up and my father and anyone, or my grandfather and dog and anyone else that I care about? Yeah, you know what? Actually, something like that has been going on. But you may be concerned about your father. In what way, though? Like, Filthy has been doing, he's gotten too caught up in the emotions of this shit. He don't realize he's talking to somebody, even though that they've got the app YouTube and they have a channel even and all that and use it. They don't use it or interact, pay attention to this thing anyway like any people do in this community. It's not even close. So far different. So, but he's just talking to him like he's not using anything to conduct himself. When he came off like you need to be worried about him. He came off condescending. He came off almost like snappy. Not snappy, but quick. And I don't know. Just disappointing. It's just fucking disappointing, really.
He's 80-something years old and he can take care of himself. So, all I can do is what I can do.
I don't know what he means with that statement either, because my grandfather sees doctors regularly and all that. He don't have dementia or anything like that, so he has no mental or psychiatric issues ever. never had, but like the one specialist and person in the healthcare field that he doesn't have to see or ever go to see is a psychiatrist. So I don't know, like what it's almost like my dad was trying to allege, like I don't know, like he's 80 years old, he can take care of like himself. Like what does he need to worry about doing over here? I don't get that. I don't have anything active. Even back then, this time, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, it'd be a lot better if he specified stuff, but he don't. And I'm not just going to fill it for him and be lazy and basically giving material or give him stuff to say, yeah, it's that, you know, and it wasn't really. Hold on, I gotta fucking reload this. Son of a bitch. Look what you made me do, Brandon. Look what you made me do. Yeah, you made me do that. It's your fault. I am not taking any personal responsibility for that, Brownie, because you freaking made me do it. You know how you made me do it? You got up on me, and I was concerned about you, and as a result, I stepped into it and messed it up. So it's your fault. I'm joking. Fuck.
Things. There's been other things I've tried. No authorities aren't going to do anything.
Really?
Not at all. I have been concerned with my father. I've been concerned for my father a long time, but my father is telling me that he's 80-something years old and he can take care of himself. So, all I can do
Checked out.
I've called the authorities in the past about different things. There's been other things.
Whoa, called the authorities. About what? I love how there's not even a general description of what that entailed or what it referred to or what the authorities was needed about. You know, there's no mention of that.
Authorities aren't going to do anything.
Really?
And they're not going to do anything.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, I was just concerned for your father. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but I mean, Ian is back on drugs pretty serious. And I mean, a few weeks ago, they had to go sell some items. He said he was in a financial hardship. And
Okay, now how does he know
incident
this?
happened at a gas pump a few days ago. And
Oh, God.
I don't know
Here we
if it
go.
was another customer
I
or
was
somebody
live streaming.
actually worked at the gas station, had to get on
No,
scene
it's
to
between me and my grandfather.
Mr. Wilson. But, I was just reaching out. It's no disrespect toward your wife, but
I appreciate it. After talking to you just a few minutes here, you seem like a different person than some of the other people that have been harassing us and trying to harass me. I haven't responded to anybody else. I've had other people harass me because of some of the activities that he's done on YouTube and different things. So
I say he's wrong there. There's so much that sentence structure and the things that he said when he said them, putting them together. That's a bunch of double babble. But in essence, I'll give you the correct version. There's been a bunch of people, and they're his people actually, filthy. They've been harassing and calling him, and some of them times just filthy himself, not saying anything. And they bugged my dad and them, not because of stuff I've done on YouTube, but because of my opinions and my responses and my character in the situation of being attacked on YouTube. That's why.
away from me because I was, I guess, too stern on him or something. I don't know. I was trying to do my best at the time. It probably wasn't that long ago, about 15 years ago, I guess.
yes, sir.
They let him come back for a while, and then I thought at a different point, because they did start trying to put some pressure on him, and he wanted to come back to me. Okay, so I let that happen. And then after about a year, he went back over there, and they enabled a lot of this, and I kept telling her, "You're enabling. That's all you're doing. You're not helping him at all. You think you're helping people." And it was the same for another situation too. And it was my mom and dad have always think that they're helping people, and I believe that they're more enabling. Which there's a lot of people that do that, and
Right.
going through stuff like that, I have learned quite a bit. You know, just basically from
All right.
studies I've done on my own and books I've read on the subject, and trying to get my head around a lot
Freaking
of
dog.
things. And,
Damn water.
especially as a book, and if you ever want to read it, it's called Boundaries, and it's a really good book that talks about these type of things. It's biblically based, but it talks about you know, there's consequences that God gives us that
Absolutely.
you know, should be applied, and God gives us those, and when we try to step in and relegate and save people, sometimes God's solutions, which aren't as bad, they're disciplined, but they discipline.
He got a book handed to him from his wife called Boundaries, and they did a workshop over this boundaries thing and all that. His wife made a big deal of it. All of that stuff he was just talking about, it all singularly from that one book. He's read one book. He ain't done no experiments on it or anything else. And another, I read it myself. Some of it, obviously, correct, useful stuff. But you're talking about loved ones or family members or whatever. Yeah, you know, letting God do what God does. That sounds to me a very elaborate, methodical, and logical way to get yourself basically psyched up to accepting whatever the fuck happens and not meddling. You know, I'm not gonna help out my other son or that person or whatever because, you know, what God's got in store for him is what's meant to happen. You know, I don't like that part about my dad. He thinks he's spiritually in tune. Get off me! God damn it! Fucking dog, man. See, right then, I fucking just took my arm. Oh yeah, look at my big old fucking scary arm I got here. And I just go, because he's fucking jumping up and putting his paws on me. Do you see how fucking wet it is? Do you see all the mess everywhere? Do you see him coming right on up? Crowding Brownie. He crowds Brownie. He crowds me. He fucking crowds everybody. He's a puppy. He's big. And he don't fucking know what he's doing. And he's got testosterone coursing through his fucking veins.
He's dead now from overdose, but she had gone through a lot of that when he was
another wrong thing. My mom didn't fucking die from an overdose. I don't know where the fuck he must have been fucked up when he had this call.
Oh, it's terrible.
I believe
Oh yeah, Dad, you didn't smoke no weed, though, you?
I missed a lot of things because there was when he was younger, he cried
Mm-hmm.
and a friend because he was just kind of odd.
Just kind of odd. Yeah. Bunch of bullshit. This is the most horribly fucking condensed bullshit that don't really touch on nothing, leaves more questions than answers, and some of the straight up statements he's made pissed me off, like saying my mom overdosed. My mom didn't fucking overdose. She was under medical supervision and checked in, admitted when she died. She was in the care of fucking people to take care of that. So no, she didn't die of a drug overdose. Fuck her. She was only going through addiction almost all her whole fucking life and survived it countless of times through fucking divorce, people trying to get me and do things to her and all other bullshit. She didn't die with stress and addiction then, no, later. And went to that hospital. I mean, come on. I'm not going to say she got the best treatment there because obviously they allowed things to go to where it killed her, you know? But it wasn't from an overdose. It had to do with her heart. I guarantee it was probably a result of organs, different things she had that complicated and had their own issues starting to maybe develop because of her history, health history, but more importantly, because of the pharmaceutical fucking medicine she was on under their psychiatrist, heavy from back then all the way to that point, coming off of it with no taper or anything. It's no joke. Every now and then, somebody that suffers from alcoholism thinks they can do that cold turkey shit. And I say alcoholism specifically because that's the one example I can give you, and the other chemical that you try to fucking do some cold turkey shit when you're a hardcore addict to it. Well, for example, books, you might touch on that, or hillbilly. Tell me, what's it like when you wake up in the mornings with a headache and you're out of beer and shit, just collecting yourself and trying to figure out and orient your fucking consciousness to the date, time, and current events? Seems to be harder than usual, which is weird because you're waking up. But that's because you drink every day. I know what it's like. If you don't get a beer, or depending on your level and stuff, your own unique stuff, you don't get something start going down your throat and making its way quickly to your liver and the rest of your system very soon, you're going to start to get more unsteady and unsteady to the point that may even mistake you as fucking early Parkinson's. And worse than that, you could fucking literally die. You can have a fucking seizure and die trying to go cold turkey off alcohol or benzos.
Yeah, I had thought something different at when, I was thinking it was just somebody crank calling, but I appreciate it.
Okay, buddy. You have a good day and God bless.
Hey, the same to you, and I really mean that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you, brother.
Keep that
Brother.
change, you filthy animal.
Now, this motherfucker, now, I see a text earlier of one of my live streams and the work he's back then. I brought up and talked about my dad a little bit. And, well, they must have went over to his YouTube place, just like they do other times where I'm somewhere else. They tell this or that person. They try to work angles. Maybe, oh, let's talk to this family member because he's, well, they tell my dad, I'm talking about him. And I had some text I looked over from him. He's like, don't mention us, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have to if you hadn't fucking got up there and I had to listen to that fucking right there. I was like, if I didn't have to listen to that right there, I would never fucking talk about you, Dad. Not negatively, at least. And I really haven't even talked about him negatively. I've just been realistic. Like, yeah, my dad was playing in a rock band back then when I was born and shit. He said he wasn't around. Yeah, no fucking kidding, he wasn't around. He was out every night till the fucking wee hours of the night trying to, be a rock star. And go during the day, work at construction with a wife, a brand new, born baby at home, her mother, as well as his previous marriage and 5-year-old child that he also had. And he was still, even then still, with 2 kids already, he's still trying to do the rock and roll thing, My dad, that's what I'm saying. I told him, I said, Mr. Roberts. I said, Roberts, Dad, Roberts. Who the fuck do we know of this Roberts that we're real close or whatever with? I'm like, they said Peeville. So, that would normally, I would think that you would think about, the people that live in Peeville that are our relatives. And he did. I'm not going to go back, but I think he did kind of bring that up for a second, but you could tell Filthy had no fucking clue what he didn't. That would have been the easiest thing. Like, the guy said he was from Peeville. he could have very easily asked just one or two questions, and if the answer was different than what should be the norm, he should have hung up. But my dad is I mean, you saw. He said, "Well, just talking to you, I can see that you're different. You're not like them." He's playing an act. He does the same crap when he's online. He'll act like the same very people you were just talking about. But however, if he's got a plan or something to do with a specific channel, guess what? When he goes over to that channel, he's gonna tell all them wild motherfuckers and people that act up to hang it back, don't pop up, don't be seen with him. And when he goes over there, I guarantee you, he's not gonna be acting anything like he was just acting. My dad just like, and later on, he's like, "This is what crazy." He's like, "It's way too much drama and interplanes. It's just YouTube." He's like, like, "I've never heard this happening. Why is this happening?" I said, "Dad," I said, "I'd never heard of it before either, but guess what? I go on Google, and turns out I'm not the only fucking person it's happened to. Huh. There's plenty of people that have come across situations exactly like this, similar, whatever. Like, it's just not, deep. I still love my dad, and I'm not mad at him or anything else. I could give a shit less. But, I mean, there's just a lot of things materially misrepresented. Maybe, and I don't know the answer to this, sadly, because I don't talk to my father, but maybe he did actually, figure that maybe he was trying. I'm trying to see. I can't even finish it or get it all the way out because my mind's like, no, that don't make sense. Like, you can't. That's just like an excuse. Like, I want to think, well, maybe, he wouldn't for sure. He was just being generic, and he wanted to, not be aggressive or what. Like my mind's going to, well, just maybe he just flubbed up or whatever, had the right intentions but the wrong actions. I mean, if that had been me right there, and I didn't have any issues with him, and somebody called me like that, and they was recording me like that, and it comes up on YouTube, and dad and shit gets tagged in it, I'm gonna be getting nothing but bitch, 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 bitch. I'm gonna get text messages, and I'm gonna eventually get phone calls. I'm gonna ask, why the fuck am I out here running around like a goddamn woman, talking about drama and shit between me or about my dad? All of that's gonna come up, just like it would for most other people too. But I find it funny that he acts like I got no grievance or anything to say about any of that. What he said there, how he was so careless to even say it to begin with, because I mean, he just him saying my mother died with overdose, like that's like, even when she's passed away and dead, you're still gonna like push out and say misnomers and wrong things, aren't you, Dad? When I tried to take my life, you want to know something that's interesting? It's a little, it's kind of a tidbit of factual info that could be seen as personal or family, and most would say, why the fuck are you about to share that or even go into it here? Because it's YouTube, and you deal with a bunch of fucked up motherfuckers regularly. Well, because I don't give a shit. I'm at that point, been there for a while. You want to know something? That my great old Christian stepmom, who pulled out a fucking gun and pointed it at me when she was way over 12 feet away from me across the room, just was pissed off and just wanted to be a dickhead. Like, I wasn't going towards her or nothing. You know what she did? When I tried to kill myself years later, she came with my dad. My dad, you know, I had to go into surgery and stuff. Well, my dad didn't just call and stuff. He drove all the way down here, 3 hours, you know, not that far. I was barely conscious, but conscious enough and still yet to be able to remember it. Sitting there in the ICU here in Haiti. I was out of surgery, but I was, you know, fucked up from the floor up. Detoxing off of that fucking Rogan-induced psychosis that happened. The suicide attempt itself, all the fucking cuts. Then on top of that, the prescribed medicine from the doctors, pain medicine. I'm up to the ears of fucked up. Got a thing around my neck, and I'm all, you know, wrapped under the covers on the bed. I'm just chilling, right? Just sitting there like, fuck. Like, god dang, what a, you know. I see my dad, and he doesn't come in. And his hand goes up to his face, and then he kind of like walks the opposite direction. And I see a somewhat similar reaction, but they don't walk all the way off. Even more so fucked up, the next person has their phone, and they take a fucking picture. They take a fucking photograph. Kodak moment, y'all. Take one. It'll last longer. Be there for later. Kodak moment. She fucking took a picture of me in the ICU with my neck and arms and legs fucking cut up from the floor up. Half conscious, barely, attached to monitors. But she's a fine Christian woman and a wonderful stepmother. And if I say anything else or ever said anything else other than that, well, that just must be something wrong with me. Let me take a picture of me when I'm fucking nice to you. One of you, anybody thinking, why didn't you say anything? Really? I did finally later on, after a good while, to my dad, and I was sitting there. I knew it wouldn't get resolved how it should have been, but I had only just one desire from it. I just wanted God to get the confirmation through the actions and voice and what my dad's saying that at the very least, like, you know, that that tell me something different, you know what I mean? Like, don't bullshit me, you know. You know, when I come to talk to you and talk to you like a human, like talk plainly. Of course, he, you know, played the act, so that was all I was just hoping. And once that was confirmed, like, he started going in on about something else, and I let him for a second. I thought about it. I looked at the phone. I hung it up. I said, fuck that. So I ain't got nothing to talk to you about, though. You know, he somehow has it in his mind, in his mind's eye, his brain, consciousness, mind's eye. This is how his structure of the universe and what's important works. First, there's God. He's above everybody and everything. Right? Then there's his wife. They're second, and they're above and ahead of everybody and everything else. And he has to be on their side and defend them and agree with them and not, you know, they're not supposed to be submissive of him. You know, and actually it's kind of weird. Like, dad's marriage kind of like biblically progressive in the sense that the feminine and masculine roles are flipped. So she's kind of like the masculine authority, but with a feminine vibe. Ancestor, he's the other. It's dumb. But yeah, that's how my dad says that this the order in God, his wife, and after the wife it's like law and regular life stuff, things that he must do, and then family, then friends, and etc. Everybody else. I was like, well, where's fucking your sons on that list? I know we're definitely after wife, and but I don't agree with that. And he uses something from the Bible, from a specific thing, and it's a one-time thing. This is not something that was repeated. This was not a theme that was repeated in the Bible, and something I've heard other churches and stuff say. Hey, y'all, make sure you're following the formula: God, wife, then church, then your life, then your family, and everybody else. Like, no, I've never heard nobody tell me that there's a scale of importance. Like, so I got to not be a hypocrite, follow God first, and then I got to somehow be able to do and satisfy and get along with my wife second, while also adhering to the first. Then I mean, the more people you add to that list and try to go from the way that he's thought, the way I'm explaining it to you, it's just not going to work. Like, you're going to have problems. Number one is going to conflict with some of the issues that come from family, friends. So, like, there's going to be something that comes up that somehow conflicts your duties, number one and two. So I just forget that. Like, apparently, though, but when he said that, when we were talking and arguing one time, I said, well, okay, that's good for me to know. I know how you, I know finally, after all this frustration and emotion crap, arguing with my dad, going back, like, I know how his fucking mind works, at least in some fundamental ways now. So it's not a mystery anymore. I'm not screaming at the wind or anything. Like, I hope he's doing all right. But, I don't fucking hear from that. And I tried, I was trying. But ever since they called and they got that call, and then ever since, because I've got text messages after that call with him. But as time goes on, not long after that, more and more time, guess what? I'll stop completely with dad or text or anything. And why? That's because of number two on his list, his wife. And the other reason is because of that fucking clip right there and the relentlessness that this group of people had with sharing it, focusing on it, etc. And then also add to that me combating it, feeling like I need to debunk it and cover it, and then my dad also catching glimpses a little bit of that and not probably liking that either. Would have wished that I just moved on and ignored it, but my mind don't work that way. I'm analytically based. If something happens and if something's said and it's out there on the stage, like, I mean, could we just act like it didn't happen? Yeah, but like, not if you're really analytically based. You can't, like, that's just how my mind is, like, doop 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 doop. But look, Squirrel, I put that one thing out today. Put that one thing out. I'm choosing to not release everything I've got out at once, which I could have done. Thought I was going to release a second thing, actually, even, and sitting here, I have changed my mind in the course of this video. I'm not going to put the second one out. I think I made my point with just the one. You are never to be coming to my address for any reason or my physical space or even to be approaching, getting near my personal space, bubble, physical space area. If I ever see you somewhere and I can identify it's you and you are walking towards me, just know I'm going to be getting on the phone. I'm going to be in a defensive, observing you, and I'm going to do everything strategically that I have to do and respond appropriately to avoid from, having to basically let you, try to do some bullshit. So don't ever show up here. I mean, you've been told, like, it may seem redundant me saying all this, but, lives go on, time passes and goes on apart from the last death threat. Things kind of ease back up. So, just for the record, everybody's keenly aware of that. I don't like you. You don't like me. You've been attacking, threatening me. And I've just been responding back and showing a picture of you and shit. You talk about wanting to get my dog done this and other elaborate shit to try to affect me emotionally or whatever. Because you got such a weird obsession, man. Like, I don't know. I think you emotionally feed off of the suffering of other people. Not just me, but just like, not just me. No, I mean, definitely thinking about the idea of me suffering or whatever. I guarantee me just mentioning it right now got you excited, you fucking freak. But there's something wrong with that, dude. Like, people don't normally get excited when subject is torment or aggravation, attack, another, it's not normal. You feed off it, though. You pop up in the chat.
Oh, yeah, the panel. Oh, that's right. He on his head, yeah. Oh. No pew for the Jew. No pew for the Jew. I'm only a 3-time domestic violence felon, but, I'm telling him that as a Jew, he can't unpew.
Oh, and shout out for me realizing this and getting to say it right now back. Hey, Kyle, nobody fucking cares. Seriously. Nobody fucking cares, dude. You going around like a little hall monitor on YouTube to fucking ward off and threaten and raise awareness to all the local people and folks of old Square Media. Oh, it's real bad, y'all. I've been attacking and threatening and talking about wanting to fucking do stuff to this man's butthole now for about 3 years, and within 3 years now, he's just now finally responded by committing an action that was overt against me. Yeah, he sure did. He posted it. I need y'all to report it. We gotta get this motherfucker's the goblin must lose his monetization. It is an affront that he sits there with his monetization on. And it probably don't help that we got fucking Lady Tracy and the Hillbilly as members. Y'all are fucking so lame. Oh my god. I was telling fucking OCH about you guys the other day. He wanted my fucking YouTube. I said no. I said no. I said you are not. I'm not bringing you to this environment. I said, don't ask me another thing. I said, I'm not telling you no more details. I'm like, you will never find it or any of it. You know what you do. I was like, but you know. And I told him, I said, trust me. I was like, you got a wife and you got a brand new born baby girl. I'm like, no, CH. No. He's like, God dang. He's like, they sound like something else. He's like, any of them from California? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I was like, oh, one is. I was thinking, Will Me. Man. I was like, man, I am not bringing you to this environment. I was like, you stay the fuck away from it. I'll tell you about it, though. So, I mean, it's a difficult thing with me and my biological father. I seen him at a funeral I went to last, and I shared breakfast at a table along with him. And we pretty much, we mainly only spoke, you know, general proper ways. You know, he didn't make a push to open up or try to resolve or cover or make amends or chastise me and bit nothing, and I didn't. In the same, you know, I didn't push it either because of just, you know, not going to. Oh, wouldn't you know it though? No, shut the fuck up. Shut up again. Shut up. See that? I'm doing good. I'm growing right there. I just about was gonna add in some more details, but it's really not necessary. Not for this venue, not this occasion. And I caught myself and stopped myself from doing it. And just doing that little small thing doesn't seem that big, but it is. It could make a difference. It's unnecessary though. See, I hate that, you know, because I'm finding my place right now, in like a, well, fuck me, you know, because this is what it amounts to when you can't just let yourself express yourself without any moderation or censorship or awareness of saying too much or saying too specific of certain things, because people will take them and try to flip them and go use it some way against me with either people, by making it into some post and spreading it that way to get my, you know, several different ways, so many ways, man. And so I gotta, you know, be wary and have the speed of mind to just then. I was just rattled the precipice. All I had to do was just open my mouth and take a breath again, and then make the sounds and structures, and got a little bit of information out. And I guess if I had done that and actually said that shit, I would have been like, and now it's gonna be fucking made sure to be used against you. So I was like, well, it's not, but in the grand scheme of things, though, it can't hurt me any worse than I already am. That's the paradoxical part, is it's not going to do anything other than, at worst, ensure that nothing recovers or heals in certain respects. But of course, nothing does on its own. You know, it takes all parties involved. As you may have heard in certain areas and stuff, and in other phrases, it does truly take a village. I believe it does take two to tango, does it not, Brian? See, he's out here right now alone. The puppy's not around here no more, and you don't hear me fucking telling him to get off me or moving. And all the way to my way to shift them, like reorient. Yeah. But I kicked the son. I kicked funny. I mean, hell, I did that. Open the people. Nobody's gonna say like I'm fucking eating. Start so I don't. Watch him close. Anyways, y'all, I don't know where I fell off there, but if you didn't get the gist of what I was talking about, I'm not gonna go through all that crap and tell you like yeah, because they're 2013. I was an adult then, but the only reason at all why I left wasn't because they were stern. But dude, I couldn't fucking stay there anymore. She fucking put a gun, god dang, at me for crying out fucking loud. I guess we're all forgetting that. Yeah, I mean, I I didn't freaking go, Grandpa, I need money sent so I can come back home to. No. You know what I did? After the police came, and I called the police first too, and she didn't like that. She made sure to fucking bemoan and mention that. You called them first? Yeah. As soon as you pulled that gun on me, I walked directly next door to the next door neighbors and got them to give me a phone because you were crazy and you wouldn't allow me to get my fucking phone and leave. the one fucking thing that's keeping me there, my fucking phone. And I want to tell you, all right, because she says, you're leaving, you know, she's like, all right, you're leaving. Like, it's literally like her giving commands and shit, right? Or saying how it's going to be. And literally me saying, all right, like, I just got to find my phone first. Like, I don't think I said all right. I was like, well, that's fine to me. Like, I didn't care. Like, I did not give a shit. Like, I was not going to even go there with her. As far as, like, I had nothing to be arguing with her or even defensive about. I fucking babysitted. I followed my fucking responsibilities, but I had a fucking unknown curveball come called unexpected snowstorm fucking weather. And also a little thing called father of the other, you know, the ex-husband gone to a doctor appointment, not home. And he doesn't know and can't remember and figure out and locate the fucking back door key. So I fucking, in my mind, looking at all the snow and ice around us and how we just drove all through that crap to get, didn't want to drive back. And I noticed, oh, hey, wait a second. There's no fucking deadbolt. Oh, this is the slice of cake. Pulled out my wallet, jimmied it open. Booyah. Now, did I technically break and enter or whatever? It's weird because I've actually asked this to police and stuff, and with my connections and the fact that I had a resident literally with me, traveling with me, you know, and in my custody, because he's in my custody. I mean, I was a fucking babysitter. He's not blood related, but he's fucking marital related stepbrother. What the fuck? Like, and I straight up told him, I said, don't ever do, or I was like, I said, that's only something I'm doing because we have no way to get in. You can't remember what the key is. I said, and, you know, we don't need to drive 20 whatever miles back that way in this crap right now. I said, we're telling your dad when he gets here, though, what we did and how he got in here. I was like, don't ever do that, though. You know, I made sure to tell him that. Like, I bet people right now over in some other chat or something saying, showed that kid how to break in. Like, motherfucker. Like, oh, yeah, no. I didn't have the forethought in that moment either to make sure to tell my stepbrother, hey, by the way, you don't do this. This is an adult thing. Because I told him straight up what it was. I was like, you're simply bypassing the locking mechanism with it. The piece of plastic, it could be an ID or debit card, credit card, is you just going right through and it's pushing it, and the latch is pushing and the door can move. You can open it up, push it, whatever. That's all it is, you know. And trust me, there was plenty of valuables and stuff there, and console, you know, his stuff and everything. And you got to remember too, I'm babysitting. You know, like I've got literally live eyes on the ground, boots on the ground along with me. Do you think I'm going to? That's what I could not get. She was mad about me doing that. Just me doing that. You know, which was essential. You know, she didn't bother to really think about how me doing that was me making sure that while I had her son, he was not going to be in a car with me going down a 2-lane freaking curvy ass 2-lane the whole way curvy fucking ass road, iced out, traffic back to back to back because I'm fucking out of Murfreesboro here, driving all the way and trying to make it back. Like, you don't have to worry that we're, you know, we're going to be in that shit. because our asses will be sitting right here, and I'm gonna watch him play a game or play the game with him, depending on what game he plays. If it's 2-player, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna chill the fuck out and wait for his fucking father to come back from his goddamn VA appointment. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. And as soon as his dad got there, I told his dad, hey, apologies, but I had to jimmy your lock open with a card. I just, I had to get let in that way because he could not remember where you put the hide key at. Bada ding, bada boom. I mean, if he wanted to call the police and have me arrested or something, I don't know why the fuck he didn't do it right then. Because I was straight up with him as a motherfucker. I mean, we came in like, what am I gonna do? Let myself in with him, or make him stay outside, and then grab something out of there and come out and be like, all right, don't you say anything now. Like, what the fuck? No. Like, and when she came back, I was like, what the fuck are you I was like, what the fuck are you tripping about? Like, I literally caught myself. I was like, oh shit, I said tripping. Because it caught me by such surprise, and I technically was taking a fucking nap of all goddamn things. I was asleep. And she fucking doing, I was like, what are you tripping about? That's what I said. I was like, what are you even tripping about? Like, god dang. Fuck. You know what I should have done? I should have said, no, you know what? I can't babysit. No, sorry. I gotta go out and look for a job. I got something I gotta do. School. Whatever. I'd make up something. Fuck it. Something I gotta do for work. Something I gotta do for a friend. I promise I'll do anything I should have done that. That's what I should have done. Because I was just playing with fire by fucking trying to live normally with her, and then do any actions or tasks that she would want me to do and perform, in which she does not fucking, give me any guideline list or not guidelines, but like any info at all. Any like, hey, keep in mind this, or note this because of this specific event going on. Like, she doesn't tell me shit, just basically like, good luck. It's like, thanks. And she's sitting there thinking the whole time, good luck. Can't wait to see what you end up choosing and doing. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess I was supposed to have called her in that moment before or him, and like, been like, all right, do y'all care if do y'all want me to drive back with him in this weather right now? Or do you care if I just jimmy this freaking lock open? Which one is it going to be? Like, I mean, which way are we going here? That would have solved it, because then they would have given me a solid answer of what to do. And if I followed it, they couldn't say I've disobeyed them or did anything wrong, so we wouldn't have had that argument, which wouldn't have led to her pulling the damn pistol on me for no reason, and which wouldn't have led me to going next door and calling the police, because I wanted to get my cell phone back and leave in peace, which I did. And I drove over to a friend's house. But remember, Square doesn't have any of those in real life or internet life. That's a myth. But somehow I had somewhere to go that I went and basically bunkered down on their couch for the last remaining 2 weeks of work in that period. And I gave my notice immediately and let them know that I'd be all the way here till that date, and then I'm gone. Full 2 weeks. That's exactly what I gave them. And it was a freaking car wash company, but it was a wholesome small business company, Sudsies, and the owners were fucking terrific. The manager was terrific. I remember they took us all out to at a company thing where we went out to, I don't know if it was Olive Garden or something around the holidays. I ended up taking CH with me. He was my guest. We could have one friend or a date. I ended up bringing his ass. But yeah, like but I've never worked a job if I didn't get fired. I probably. I did that. Started out good. I ended on a good note there. And you might be saying, why did you stay 2 weeks? Did you just do that because you thought it was the right thing to do morally? No, not at all. I knew it was that to do that, and that was like the societal, like, hey, bro, 2 week rule. Everybody knows about the 2 week rule. Something that you're supposed to do, right? And it's something you do as a courtesy and as a way to give stability, and it's also a way to show that you're considerate and you know. But the same day, but I could not tell them. But my 2 week note, like it had started and was already a day into the 2 week notice when I was able to give them notice of the 2 week notice. You need to usually give it 24, 48 hours at the very least before it's going to be the period that it start, when it starts. But I was on the fucking couch somewhere. That's why. So when my dad said that I circumvented and ran away from them being stern, they wasn't being stern about nothing. Number one, my dad didn't say shit about it. I don't think he never did really. Uh, she pointed the gun and all that. You know, it's not that I said I wouldn't have went back over there, but I never at any point asked. I mean, she fucking pointed the gun at me. I pretty much at that point said I think my time here has ran out, and I wasn't gonna. I mean, you do things that you think are logical. So, logical thing is to give a 2 week notice, work that last 2 weeks, get paid, um, gas up, and organize your crap, and come back home and re. Oh, that dude not got his work hat on, online other persona. Oh, Will 10. Zero. device, internet, throws me right off my loop. I was talking, and I got knocked off, so I kind of lost my little track of whatever I was saying to be cliche before I hit the end button for fun. This was just random, pretty much hadn't been on also, so just know, Kyle, DB boy, you're not gonna get a random live stream too now every time you, or if I fart, make a noise or something. And just know, man, like, I mean, I've had all intents of uploading this other thing. It's like 20 seconds, and I was gonna do that too, but I'm not, because I don't have to. Like, and I think the point with that there is I think it's a reflection of y'all. Like, there's this stuff that y'all do, but you don't necessarily have to do it. You know, um, that is the first time ever today, and I'm marking it down and I'm acknowledging it right now on the record. Like, it's the first time I've ever shared something that had anything extra other than just you in it. Usually I've hit you with this number only, and I mean, and it. This right here. I've usually, done that. So, I mean, yeah, you gonna knock my bum drinks down. No, get back. See, I'm pushing on him. Oh my God, guys, look at this. Fuck, he's biting me. Like, if I'm pushing, guys, oh no, guys, I'm committing fucking second-degree assault on a fucking dog right now, guys. It's fucking, God dang, that's a lot of, man, that's nothing but animal abuse, man. You know why I'm using something like a leg or an arm to move or shift him out? You see all this? You see those fucking specific ass big prints right there in that mud? Yeah, those aren't brownies. You know what? There's brownie right there. Let's do a test. Let's use this paper towel and tap the end of his paws. See if we get any dirt. Oh. See, if it was really, really wet and actively raining, he would. But when it's not, but there's stuff there, it's wet, moisture. But since he doesn't weigh and press down into it like that dog right there, I don't have to worry about him. If it was raining or something, I'd have to freaking wipe his feet. Hell, I might even have to put him in the bathtub and dip his feet in the water. But I'll see y'all later. I don't take any pleasure in doing that. I mean, it's not no big deal to do what I've simply done. But I've done it simply to make a statement that, I'm not going to be pushed around and at the same time judged by people who break the very rules and want to talk about the very things that like they're feeling violated on, or that they feel that I'm violating myself. Like, I mean, all I'm doing is basically reflecting just a little bit, just an inch, just one small action compared to a whole sea of things that you guys do more than just that. I mean, Discord, constant chatter and talking. Like, a lot of people think that y'all spend the majority of your times on here on YouTube in the lives and stuff. And while there's some truth to that, more time is spent in the Discord when there's no live going on, and it's kind of like the downtime. They're just watching the notifications and the bots and talking about things, sharing things, memes, making stupid remarks and jokes, and further commentary based upon bullshit and lies from their little false community that they've made up in their echo chambers. You know, what was Mustard just the other day? You said I only worked like that. Pizza Hut was my first job, and I only worked so long there. Bitch, first job I worked was fucking Pup Scouts. All right, and I worked there fucking 8 months, and I lost the job, and I've been over this because our breaker in our house went off. It kicked itself and reset, causing my alarm clock to go off. Not once, because it did it not once, but twice. And I got fucking fired for it. Because that's what happens when you're late and for the same thing over and over, especially when they probably think that you're lying about it anyways. But, you know, hell, I didn't even get to or thought about having her call my father to confirm it. But, I mean, it was the truth. So, but another debunked little example right there. Let's see. Fucking first job is Pizza Hut. Really?